rashes or irritation. One that I just takes care of all the products I'm hoping that they will come out like a baby kit that will have like at least 5 ingredients in it.
Hey everyone, welcome to the nutraMetrix breakout. How's everyone doing so far? How's everyone doing so far? My name is Reed Prescott.
Wow, I don't think Rob knew I was going to talk right away.
I'm Reed Prescott. I am the Sales and Field Development Manager for nutraMetrix for the United States. Thank you. You probably recognize the lovely and talented Dr. Deedra Mason. We will be your hosts for this evening, for this nutraMetrix breakout. I want to share with you, before we jump in, a little bit about my background. I never expected for nutraMetrix to be the career path that it's been for me. I was introduced to Market America and Shop.com, actually it was before Shop.com, because I was running a nonprofit theater company in New York City. And Market America had just released the NPO program. And so this business was presented to me for the other business that I ran. And when I saw the business model, a big light bulb went off for me. As an artist at the time, I didn't know that there were ways to generate revenue that wasn't like a waiting tables kind of support job or the big break. And the only thing that I knew that existed in between was like a 9-to-5 desk job, and I could never have a 9-to-5 desk job. No offense to those who have a 9-to-5 desk job.
You just don't have the personality.
I don't have the personality, if you can figure that out. So I call myself an accidental entrepreneur. I also thought that to be an entrepreneur, you had to have a lot of money like Donald Trump, or you had to know a lot of people with a lot of money like Donald Trump. I didn't know that there was a system that you could plug into where the average person with above average drive could build a significant recurring passive income stream for themselves. Now I learned very quickly that my warm market of people that I knew were also other actors and artists, and they're not really the best when it comes to business and purchasing things and being a little proactive about their health. So I came to this conference a few years ago specifically to learn about the NPO program. And on the main stage, I saw Brandy Murphy, the director of nutraMetrix, talk about this division where you could work with licensed healthcare providers. And you could take this magnificent system, the unfranchised business system, and work business to business and help licensed healthcare providers provide wellness services and products to their patients and their practice. I have a background in what I refer to as my past life as a licensed massage therapist, but it's nothing I have pursued in the last 10 plus years. And I only went to the first nutraMetrix consultant training simply because I knew that if I met another massage therapist along the way, I wanted to be able to have a business conversation with them. I never expected this to become what it's become for me, a true career path. And one of the best things, and probably the best financial decision that I've ever made in my entire life. In our old business model, we used to have a listing of all the ways that you could make money. And one of those was, at the bottom of this was, you could win the lottery. And I always referred to this business as my winning lottery ticket. The only difference is I have to do a little bit more work than scratching something off. We all have to do a little bit more work than scratching something off. Would you agree? All right, so I'm going to jump in. We're going to give you an overview of nutraMetrix. We're also going to give you a little fun product training. And then we're going to teach you how to very simply retail your way to cover every expense and investment for your business. So let's talk about nutraMetrix Custom Health Solutions and what we do. We provide a complete suite of customized, cutting-edge solutions that are exclusive for licensed healthcare providers. And we provide a wide variety of products and services that are designed to serve patients and generate an ancillary, an additional income stream for the practice. And we also provide relevant information for the ever-changing, and it is an ever-changing economy of healthcare. There's been a huge paradigm shift in the healthcare industry in the past few years, and certainly in the past 7 to 10 years. And health professionals are reporting a lot of challenges to staying in business. The rising costs of drugs, the rising cost of business in general, shrinking insurance reimbursements, and the changing regulations and reforms. If you think about your own experience with your healthcare provider, let's say your general practitioner, from maybe this year to maybe a few years before, and the time that they probably were not able to spend with you recently, it's because they have to see more patients to simply make the same income that they made the year before. So the challenges are very real. And we at nutraMetrix, we've been in the right place before it was the right time. And we're certainly in the right place at the right time, which is now. I want to share with you some news articles from some mainstream media outlets. Here's CNN Money from January of 2012. So this is not new information. This has been going on for quite a few years. Healthcare providers are ready for a nutraMetrix consultant to walk into their practice and provide them with solutions. So here's CNN Money, doctors going broke, taking out loans to make their payroll. Here's the Wall Street Journal from March of 2012. Why America's doctors are struggling to make ends meet. Here we have again CNN Money from January, doctors living on loans. And here we have something from as recent as last year, doctors driven to bankruptcy. So we really are in the right place at the right time. So how can health professionals overcome these financial pressures? Can I just get a show of hands? How many of you in the room right now are health professionals? All right, so about a quarter of the room. How many in the room are trained nutraMetrix consultants? Wonderful. And how many people are brand new to nutraMetrix and you're here to learn about what we do? Great, wonderful, a lot of you. Okay, so what healthcare providers have been doing, or what they know to do to generate more revenue, is to see more patients. That's their business model. It's a business model that hasn't really been reevaluated in quite a few decades. And in order to see more patients, they have to work additional hours. And as patients, we're coming to our healthcare providers with our second and third jobs. So we're no longer available to see our doctor during their normal business hours. They have to stay open in the evenings or on weekends simply to see their existing patient base so that they don't lose out on that.
And they're in a really unique position because there's been a paradigm shift in medicine today. It's a shift that's moving towards complementary and alternative medicine. Many times practitioners and nutraMetrix consultants are those that are evaluating the nutraMetrix solution will ask themselves the question if it's even relevant to look at nutraceuticals within the practice. So something I really want to share with you guys, both as a practitioner myself and then working both in complementary or alternative medicine and then working in a more conventional-based medical practice, is that it's not really a question of whether or not patients are willing to spend money on healthcare products, on supplements or weight loss solutions. They are spending money. We can recapture those wellness dollars for practitioners and make sure that those dollars are spent within the practice. Our job as nutraMetrix consultants is to offer a solution to these healthcare providers that are having more of their patients ask them questions about a multivitamin, about vitamin D testing, about additional testing or how to age well. Many of the practitioners that you run across, whether it's your own primary care physician or someone that you maybe work with or play with, you find that they will say to you that they don't know what to do when their patients ask, should I be taking a multivitamin? Do you recommend that I start with some vitamin D? Are there things I can do instead of pharmaceuticals right away? You may even be surprised to find out that many healthcare providers or the conventionally trained medical doctors, DOs and the like, don't want to always write the prescription. The truth of the matter is, we don't know what other options there may be. The time is right, whether you're a health coach, you're a nutraMetrix consultant, or you're working in the professional industry or that professional channel. The time is right for nutraMetrix.
So for our healthcare providers that are here tonight or watching this on MeetOn, how do you know if a wellness program is right for your practice? Like Dr. Mason just said, I should just said. Are your patients asking you some very simple questions like, I know I should be taking a multivitamin, but I don't know which one to take. Or I know I should be taking an omega-3, or a calcium, or a vitamin D, but which one do I recommend? nutraMetrix can provide a very simple and easy solution. Or if patients are asking you, doctor, how can I lose weight? I've already done everything else, I'm eating less and I'm moving more and nothing's changing. What can I do? Doctors are looking for a clinically based solution that will help their patients achieve their goals.
One thing that's quite interesting about these kinds of statistics, not just the CNN money or the fact that I'm telling you that patients, more and more patients are asking for alternative medicine, is it's been a while, but we see this trend continue. In 2005, A large survey went out to practicing physicians to ask the question, is it a good idea and is it ethical for me to offer wellness-based solutions in my practice, in particular supplements and skincare? You would be shocked maybe to find out when they surveyed both practices and their practice's patients, that patients of the practice said that they wanted healthcare advice, supplement advice from their healthcare provider for two reasons. They believed that their healthcare practitioner was the expert in all things health and nutrition, all things wellness. And they believed that their physician was the most knowledgeable about what to recommend because they were the ones that had their chart. On the flip side, when the practices were evaluated or surveyed, the physicians said they were neither experts nor knowledgeable. So for that reason, again, I'm going to tell you that the time is good for nutraMetrix, and it's why we're seeing the growth that we've seen in nutraMetrix over our last 10 years.
Patients, or us, as a society, we're already sold on the idea of supplementation. The CDC reported that over $22 billion are purchased of some kind of supplementation product. And the question is, what are patients buying, and more importantly, who's giving them that advice?
It's really important because while these numbers are quite impressive with 22 million, or 22 billion with a B, exactly, up to 40 billion, would you be at all surprised to find out that the weight loss industry is 80 billion annually? This is a huge market, and it is consumer driven. In this case, the consumer is the patient.
So not all supplements are created equal, as you guys probably already know. We're going to take a look at two very popular store over-the-counter labels. The first one is one of our favorite, I shouldn't say favorite, one of the most well-known brands. When you say multivitamin, the average consumer thinks Centrum.
It is the biggest seller of multivitamin over the counter.
And when it comes to supplementation, it is an industry where you really do get what you pay for. So if you're paying very little for a natural supplement product, you're probably getting very little out of it. So here you're seeing everything that's highlighted in yellow is an ingredient in a health and nutrition product. I'm going to put air quotes. In a health and nutrition product that should probably not be in a health and nutrition product. We're looking at dyes, we're looking at hydrogenated oil, talc, things that are binders and fillers that are designed just to make it look pretty. And when it gets to our children's vitamins, it gets a little bit worse. The same cancer-causing dyes, the same hydrogenated oil, and then we get aspartame. You want to talk a little bit about aspartame?
Well, the problem with aspartame, the problem with aspartame here in a children's vitamin, and it's a new to anybody's vitamin, it's a new to nature molecule. And this new to nature molecule can't be metabolized by the body. So while there's some evidence of neurotoxicity and there's evidence of brain issues, that's not really the platform I want to stand on tonight. The problem is in this factor, in this industry, that sweetener, that fake chemicals, or that chemical, that new to nature molecule is put into the product so that these products or these vitamins would taste sweet, so that we could increase compliance in the children, or the children would ask for them. Really, in this market, in particular in the children's vitamin market, the problem that we had is that the manufacturers made a decision to tailor the taste and the shades and the colors so that children would ask for them. And what ended up happening is that compromise meant there wasn't any nutrition or any good vitamins in them. The average children's vitamin has 7 vitamins in it, when there are over 20 essential nutrients that need to be taken on a daily basis for growth, development, or neurologic health.
So the mission of nutraMetrix, which I think is incredibly powerful and incredibly important, is to provide a system for health professionals to create an ongoing income while providing patients and clients with a better way to achieve optimal health. And the way that we do this is through revolutionary technology, science-based nutritional interventions, and the power of people, the nutraMetrix consultant. And we are changing the face of healthcare, one practice and one patient at a time. It's quite miraculous. You can clap for that. What I'm sharing with you now is a profit chart of our sales. nutraMetrix is a division that has continuous growth. Why is that important? Because the products and services that nutraMetrix provides provide the results that patients are looking for. When patients get results, they reorder. When patients reorder, their business, the health professional's business grows, as does ours, as is everybody that is financially linked to that health professional. So when a health professional is looking to partner with a company that provides to their professional channel, they want to make sure they're partnering with a company that has solid financial background behind it. And we have a huge commitment to quality, which I would love for you to...
And I think that that's the point here, is that no one's going to argue whether or not the supplement industry is a home run when it comes to a financial win. Manufacturers are making billions of dollars off of natural health opportunities, or natural health solutions. So when you're working with healthcare providers or other nutraMetrix consultants, or looking at building your team of NCs, no one's going to argue with you that the market isn't right. We believe that the market is right. The point is in making sure that they understand not only are they partnering for financial health in their practice, for their own facility's bottom line, but they want to make sure that they're practicing, or that they are participating in a program where the products themselves are also going to be beneficial to the patient, where this is not just something that someone whipped up in their bathtub, but that it's actually going to produce results. And the primary factor in whether or not something is going to produce results is things like less fillers and binders, making sure that there's the right forms of ingredients in a product, that they are formulated in synergy, that the ingredients are put together respecting nature. And that's what I always like to say about nutraceuticals, that you want to choose a formula that copies nature. So when we look at partnering with nutraMetrix, quality control is a big factor, ensuring that you are offering a product with the best ingredients that are scientifically based, because that absolutely will come up with the healthcare providers. They want to know that they are recommending something that is scientifically based. So from a quality control standpoint, what I want you to understand is that Market America and our professional channel, nutraMetrix, we are not a research and development company. What we do is we work with experts in their field. We don't manufacture anything that we sell to the end consumer. Because we are a product brokerage company, we have the opportunity to work with FDA-approved facilities that formulate to our specifications, but they are GMP certified. We can, because of our unique delivery system with isotonic, phytosome type therapies, or phytosome absorption, different ways that we have asked these manufacturers to formulate for us, we can increase the efficiency of delivery of nutrients to the body by offering the best in breed of formula and best in breed of ingredient. When I say that, what I'm talking about is not just that our facilities are FDA approved, not just that every one of our manufacturers is a GMP certified facility, not just that we are available in multiple markets across many borders, meeting many countries' specifications for quality, but that we also have paid special attention to formulating in such a way that we can help products produce results.
And we have a lot of competitive differentiators, things that make nutraMetrix unique and different than any other competitor on the market. I'm going to pass this off to you.
Okay, that's good.
Awesome training right now.
So when we look at isotonic capable nutrition, that's the way you want to speak about it. Isotonic means same pressure or tone. Now, many of us have heard in the field this means same pressure or tone is blood, sweat, and tears. At the end of the day, what this means is that if you take isotonic on an empty stomach, you have sensory cells at the base of your stomach that get stimulated by the pH or the tone of that liquid, of that solution that you have made when you mix it properly, making it isotonic capable. Those sensory cells release the isotonic slurry or the isotonic solution from the stomach and into the small intestine very quickly, very rapidly. This respects the body's natural physiology. The point I want you to take from that is not osmolar receptors, not sensory sites, not pH balance or osmolarity. What I want you to take from that is that the nutrients that are mixed in an isotonic capable supplement are mixed in such a way that they are able to quickly leave the stomach, meaning that they are not exposed to stomach acid for a prolonged period of time. Because they are not exposed to stomach acid for a prolonged period of time, they do not get tore up by stomach acid. This allows us to offer you a product that is not just concentrated in solution, meaning that it will have better absorption when it gets to the cell sites and receptor sites, but that we are offering a product that has no fillers or binders. Our competitors, a multivitamin, a mineral product, an antioxidant product, need to put fillers and binders into their product. These things don't just slow absorption, slow down delivery, but they will literally hold on or bind to these vitamins, minerals, bioflavonoids, and prevent their utilization in the body. For that reason, we focus on efficient delivery of nutrients. So what I want you to take from this idea of isotonic capable supplementation is the fact that the nutrients are quickly moved from the stomach into the small intestine, intact and concentrated, ready to do the job that they were meant to do. That is our isotonic advantage. That is your competitive differentiator, a unique and efficient delivery system. Because vitamins and mineral absorption rely on that concentration. They rely on being able to stimulate the receptors, and to do this, they need to be intact, not tore up by stomach acid. But because there's a limited amount of shuttles in the body, you also don't want to overwhelm those shuttles. So the fructose and glucose that is in an isotonic not just gives you the option of this slow and efficient, is really the word I'd like to use, this efficient delivery system, but controlled delivery. That controlled delivery ensures that there will be no oversaturation of these shuttles. That means, because vitamins don't wait in line to be absorbed, that there's a steady state for absorption. There's a steady state for utilization of these nutrients. So if anyone's ever asked you the question, why is there sugar in an isotonic? Because it allows us to offer an isotonic capable solution. It controls for gastric empty. That means stomach, or the slurry from leaving the stomach, how readily or how easy it leaves the stomach. And it makes sure that we do not overwhelm these receptor sites so that vitamins just pass through the body, rather they're utilized in the body. It respects nature, or like I like to say, or as you've heard me say in the past, copies nature, because fillers and binders can impact not just that delivery, but also their absorption or utilization in the body. When you look at an isotonic, it is 5 minutes per cap is the way that we like to talk about this delivery. Now, why is that important? Is it measured down to 4.5 minutes? Nope, you absorb nothing. Takes 5? No. What we know is that people, when it comes to compliance, when it comes to ensuring that they do something on a consistent basis, they like direction, right? So that's the role of the isotonic versus the standard tablet. As long as your stomach is empty, you will utilize those products will be moved from the small intestine. What we want to do is make sure that people follow rules. We want to make sure that they're compliant, and they need to be told that, and in doing that, we tell them how to take them and what to do so they can follow those rules and stay consistent, because they see that there's structure to doing it. Now, when we look at this, I mentioned already that fructose and glucose are important for controlling gastric emptying, or controlling how quickly something moves from the stomach. That's the purpose of fructose and glucose. It also does make the product taste sweet, so patients and clients are more compliant in utilizing the product. They're ready to take their vitamins or their custom cocktail again, rather than having to dread the idea of swallowing those pills. Because we don't put fillers or binders in this product, we use things like citric acid and malic acid. These allow for that, again, that ready state of isotonics to efficiently move across the cell membrane for absorption. We use citric acid and malic acid to do that. The other ingredient here, we'll call them the other inactive ingredients, allow for the stability of the product so that we, and from a food-based standpoint, so that we don't have to use fillers and binders. Things that buffer it, like potassium bicarb, buffers the solution in such a way that it moves it from an acidic environment in the stomach to a non-acidic environment in the intestine. By doing so, we can increase its absorption. Many vitamins and minerals will not be absorbed in an acidic state, but in a buffered state do very well. So we've paid attention not just to formulation, not just to the right ingredients put in the right combination, but we've also paid attention to copying nature or the body's natural physiology and ensure an efficient delivery of these nutrients across from the stomach into the intestines and then to or across the cell membrane by using those types of food-based ingredients instead of fillers and binders. It's the stimulation of these sensory cells in the base of the stomach that allow us to do that. It's the sugar that ensures it works the way we told you it would work. If you're concerned, and I don't think if you're concerned about the sugar, if somebody brings up the sugar, you may want to remind them that this is a lot like hydration. In rehydrating a child after an illness or rehydrating an adult after illness, we use a sugar or a salt solution to do that. By raise a hand, how many of you would like to consume a salty beverage? We're not talking about margaritas. I saw your eyes light up. So those are some of the benefits of the isotonic, or what we like to refer to in nutraMetrix as your competitive differentiator, a product with no fillers and binders, a product that relies or supports the body's natural physiology, copies nature, and ensures not just rapid and efficient delivery, but a quality solution that's put through the body. Isotonic Daily Essentials Kits. You're able to talk to customers, talk to physicians about utilizing the Daily Essentials Kit, covering their bases. You maybe have heard this term before. If you can't make it, you need to take it. Essential nutrients are nutrients that the body cannot synthesize on its own. If you can't make it, you need to take it in the form of a healthy diet, rich in color, balanced in fat in its natural state, protein in a healthy state, and of course, abundant of multiple colors. Not just the green ones, but the orange ones and the red ones and the yellow ones are all beneficial, right? But most people do not consume 8 to 12 servings of vegetables a day. For that reason, we can fill in gaps where their diet fell short by offering them essential nutrients that their body cannot make, cannot synthesize, so they have to take in the form of supplementation in a healthy, balanced diet. And that's why we put together the Isotonic Daily Essentials Kit. Calcium, multivitamin, activated B complex, and of course, a comprehensive blend of antioxidants called OPC3. This is your foundation for health. This will cover 80% of a person's metabolic needs, so that any other solutions that may be appropriate, like those that support cardiovascular health, those that support blood sugar health, those that support energy or healthy aging or healthy memory, will only be able to work that much better because your foundation is laid. Does that make sense? By offering them in a kit, we're also able to offer you a value proposition or a value-based solution. Something that when you purchase the entire kit, you can get for a lesser amount than buying it or selling it out for its parts here. One of the things that comes up in the practice you'll hear a lot is this idea of I don't have time, and that's why daily essentials are so effective in practices. Because it doesn't matter what type of physician you are, what type of healthcare provider you are, the types of patients, age, or economics of the patients that you see, we can cover 80% of every practice's basic needs and every one of their patients' needs with the daily essentials. So if we've covered that, right, I don't need to teach someone how a product works. We're talking about if you can't make it, you need to take it. The other factor that comes up is how convenient it is, and will my customers or patients be compliant? Right, so, oh, and I didn't mention, we've also talked about the price point. We've been able, through the kit service, be able to offer them a better price point, making healthcare more affordable for them, paying attention or being respectful of the way they spend their healthcare dollars. Well, the third factor that comes up is ease of use. And if you want to be successful, whether it's building your business or working with healthcare providers or helping them work with their patients, ease of use is a very important concept to understand. If it feels like salmon swimming upstream, it's just not going to happen, right? So you want to make sure that they see that they are noting exactly what they need to do with good instructions, that they understand the importance of if you can't make it, you need to take it, and then making sure it's easy to do. One of these packets A 30-day supply found in a box, a very affordable solution and very easy for the health professional to recommend, very easy for the patient to take or consume, very easy to reorder, right? We could get into the benefits of traveling with it. We get into the benefits of only having to do it one time a day when they may be used to having to take their supplements multiple times a day. The Daily Essentials kits and the Daily Essential packet take care of a lot of the stumbling blocks or obstacles to getting started in a practice when the physician says, I'm either the expert or the most knowledgeable in all things health and nutrition. Well, doctor, let's go ahead. I'd like you to consider then the use of the nutraMetrix Isotonic Daily Essential packets because they'll cover 80% of your patient's basic or foundational needs to support their metabolism, to support their healthy weight, to support, and then you fill in the blank with what is most relevant in that practice. From there, you can build what we like to refer to as a shared customer. You can build into this concept of, doctor, while that may cover the base care, the foundations of health for your patient, right? Invariably, you're going to run into this second tier of supplementation about supporting them based on their unique needs. So we've offered a solution of 17 different regimens for healthcare practitioners to meet the primary needs of their practice. Things like blood sugar health, right? Mind and energy or bone and joint health, children's well-being, female health, men's health. By paying attention to the different variations of practice, the different types of specialties in practice, and then putting regimens together, we don't have to rely on the practitioner feeling like they're the expert in all things health and nutrition, because we let them know if their primary need in their practice is digestive health, right, or digestive support, we put a regimen together so they can be confident that everything that's in the digestive health regimen supports healthy digestion. Does that make sense? Again, it's about ease of use, about improving compliance by giving them very clear and concise steps for how to be successful. Then we move into a third tier or a third concept or phase development in the practice or implementation. We started with basic health, the foundations of optimal wellness, through the Daily Essentials kit or the Daily Essentials packet. Then we moved into that share of customer through the different regimens. And then from here, we can start to talk about some of the very unique differentiators like customizable product, the option of putting together a uniquely branded or unique solution in a custom cocktail for them. Being able to not just brand a unique product for the practice, but also be able to share something like this with a patient so that they know that the physician put in extra work, thought, into what would be best for their needs. Again, ensuring that we understand that they are unique. Their needs are unique, and we were thoughtful enough to pay attention to supporting their uniqueness, or paying attention that they're not going to manifest health concerns in the exact same way that their neighbors do. By doing that, they feel the value from their practice because someone took the time to evaluate their unique needs. Going further into customization is nutrigenomic analysis, looking closer at genes, or through our program, the Gene SNP Analysis Program, that looks at 40 different SNP variants for single nucleotide polymorphisms, variations that change the way a body or a patient metabolizes nutrients, the amount of nutrients that they require for healthy metabolism, and then focusing on common factors of disease or chronic health concerns. Things like obesity, things like blood sugar health, things like risks for elevated triglycerides, sleep disorders, issues with anxiety and depression, issues with fatigue or healthy brain aging. By looking at your genes, we're able to see how those genes behave. Those genes that are not behaving properly can be turned down by the proper nutrients. We have to use something like gene SNP analysis to find out in what amount you should be taking nutrients, in what combination you should be taking nutrients, and what form of nutrients would be the best solution for you. How are you metabolizing not just ingredients or minerals and vitamins from your diet, but what would be the best, again, custom option for you? Not just in isotonics, but through all of our regimens that are made available through nutraMetrix. Now, what was just on the screen, can I go back? I don't need anyone to be an expert in genetics to be able to work with the nutrigenomic analysis. It's really just like this idea of the Daily Essentials Kit. Really, all you need to know about the Daily Essentials Kit is our body requires certain nutrients. They should be taken in combination because that's the way we find them in nature and in colorful foods. But many of these nutrients cannot be synthesized by the body. So if you can't make it, you need to take it. That's all you need to remember. If you can't make it, you need to take it. When it comes to nutrigenomics, you don't need to know anything more than this statement. Doctor, I'd like you to consider the use of gene snip analysis in the practice. I'm sure we can agree that with a better understanding of how diet and genes interact, we'll be enabled to better manage health, better manage and possibly prevent or mitigate, even delay the onset of chronic disease or age-related complaints. That sounds like a home run. Wouldn't your patients like to test, not guess? That's all. You don't need to be an expert in nutrigenomics. You just need to be able to make it relevant to the practice. Knowledge for the patient and the best laid plan, kind of that blueprint for what we should be recommending. And then there's our TLS weight management solutions. Our weight loss solution falls into that $80 billion that is spent annually in these United States for whether it's a better physique, looking better naked, right? Someone that's trying to offset health challenges or familial risk factors for disease like type 2 diabetes or heart disease. TLS is the difference. And the reason why TLS is the difference is because it's not a diet. TLS is something that you do to live the lifestyle, something that is done to teach you how to eat, how to improve not just body composition, but metabolism, how we can repair metabolism. And eating this way, I don't know why I feel like it, eating this way, by eating this way, you don't feel like you're on a diet because you have an abundance of food that you're able to eat. We add to people's diet. We don't take food away because a lot of the stuff that comes out of a window, the stuff that comes in a box, right, and the stuff that is fed to our children at school, that's not food. That's new to nature molecules, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take away stuff that's not actually food, just pretending to be food. We're going to add food back in the form of colorful fruits and vegetables, in the form of lean meat, in the form of fat in its natural state. Knowing that we have to repair many people's metabolism, we also offer supplements that do just that. Support the body in such a way to improve the way hormones act in the body. To improve body composition, again, shifting metabolism to preserve lean muscle mass and shed fat. This can be done metabolically with the right combination of nutrients, the right form of nutrients, right, and the right amounts of nutrients or botanicals that support healthy metabolism. All of this, doctor, is available to you both as an inventory within the practice or through a web portal, an e-commerce enabled web portal, giving you the opportunity to not have to carry a large inventory in the practice, but ensure that patients purchase from you here, and then we seamlessly implement nutraMetrix through our online solutions so the products are drop shipped to your patient. That ensures, again, ease of use. No one has to think about what they're doing. These products are delivered to them. As they go to your web portal, they may even find other products that are relevant to their needs, that are relevant to their family's needs. And you will organically start to create a share of customer. nutraMetrix has managed to do this through an e-commerce enabled web portal that patients that want to, as we frequently said, point and click to order. And what is quite literally, I think it's in our DNA now. Like children now come out able to like run their parents' iPads, right? Mom, I'll take care of that for you.
But they go to a magazine, a paper magazine, and try to make the pictures bigger.
Right, they're like, why is this not working?
Why is it not working?
My DVR did that to me. My DVR, okay, I'm a Dexter fan. And so my DVR, when I was after I got my DVR, my radio, I was like, I wanted to like just ship the radio back. What did the DJ just say? We get completely messed up by this stuff. But when I come with it's relevant to practice today. A practice is so much bigger within the four walls of that facility. Right? People are reaching out in varied ways to find patients, to brand themselves. And that's something that we respect with nutraMetrix by giving them a web portal that pays attention to all these aspects of doing business today, right? So what I want to do is, from here, is offer Reed to go into really what makes him very special and what makes all of us very special, and you're very special.
Well, thank you. You're very special.
Just,
Oh. There's a reason why her nickname is Dr. Dictionary. So as vital and important and essential as all of that information is, the thing that makes us unique and vital and important to our health professionals is the consulting process. You know, if we build a relationship with our health professionals with a very simple system, and what we do is we become more than a vendor, because a vendor is replaceable. But when you have a relationship with that health professional, and when you're providing services and products that are changing their patients' lives, then you have a true relationship, and then you have true business coming through your organization. So the nutraMetrix consultant is the most vital piece, the most important component to this whole process, because without the consultant, none of the other things happen. We have nutraMetrix consultant trainings that happen 4 to 5 times a year, and we're going to let you know when the next ones are scheduled for at the end of this presentation. But we are the ones that meet with the health professionals, find out what that health professional needs, find out what their patients are asking them about, and also what kind of revenue does that practice need to generate, whether to stay in business or simply to put the time into an additional or ancillary program, a wellness program that meets the mission, the vision, and the identity of that health professional. And with that information, we put together, the nutraMetrix consultant puts together a program that is specific to that practice. Now, we talk a lot about in this business about getting to your candidate's why, right? If there's not a strong why, there's not a real strong reason to make a business partnership with them. Through nutraMetrix, in 15 minutes or less, we will teach you how to get to every health professional's business why, or even their patient's why on a deeper level. And that we will teach you at the nutraMetrix consultant training. So how does this work?
Which is 3 days, not 15 minutes.
Yes, the training is 3 days. Thank you.
15 minutes will teach you everything you need to know. Go.
So how does it work? I actually just described it. The consultant meets with the health professional, finds out the needs of the practice. With that information, we put together a program that is based specifically on the needs that they shared with us. We put together a program, we offer it to the health professional, we explain it to them, and they evaluate the program to see if it's a fit for their practice. It's wonderful. It's a business-to-business conversation. There's no feelings involved. It's simply business and how we can help them support their patients. If it's a fit, then we go in and we implement the practice, and we teach the staff, and we teach the health professional when needed how to have very simple and effective conversations with their patient base. And we support the ongoing success of the practice, which we teach you how to do in the nutraMetrix consultant trainings. So I wanted to walk you through a sample scenario of financial projections. And we're going to work with a practice that has about 5,000 patients. Now, depending on where you are, that's either a very large practice, or if you're in a metropolitan area, that could be a medium-sized practice. Now, we, as nutraMetrix consultants, have actually run surveys over the past 10 years to find out what patients in practices want. And here on the PowerPoint says that 75% of patients, when asked, want wellness alternatives. We have to let you know that number is more between 85 and 95%. When asked, patients want to receive healthy alternatives, healthy suggestions from their healthcare providers.
And I want to point out something, that number is very high when practices ask the question, do you want more information about nutraceuticals? Do you take supplements currently? And those are the patients that were asked. Average studies, or just or surveys across the United States would shows that greater than 50% of people, even without their physician knowledge, are taking health and nutrition products. But when the practice starts to invest in these types of questions, we find more people answer yes, I want more of that.
Absolutely. So in a general implementation, we only need to target about 10% of the entire patient population. So 10% of 5,000 is 500. Now that doesn't mean tomorrow we're going to get 500 patients on a wellness program. But I will tell you that we can very systematically do that over the course of a year by talking to 2 or 3 patients a day. And we have a system in place with nutraMetrix that allows the patient to self-identify the kind of wellness care that they want. So our health professionals know what kind of wellness conversations, if any, to have with each and every one of their patients. So what does this look like? Let me get to a bigger thing. So what we're looking at is a custom formula that has a multivitamin, a B complex, calcium, D3, and our super antioxidant, OPC3. And we're looking at a formula that would retail for about $125. The wholesale cost, the unfranchised cost, is $93.35, and it comes with about 65 points of business volume. So if we look at the, let me see if this makes this bigger. No, it doesn't. All right, so if you look at the last column, if you have 500 patients ordering and reordering this formula, again, it's a formula that they've already asked to be on, that can bring in, if you're looking at that first line, $15,000 in retail profit every month. Now this is 10% of a patient base. Now that's going to generate about 32,000 points of BV on a monthly basis. Who would not want 32,000 points of BV floating up through their organization? Really? Nobody? I'll take it all if you don't want it. Now that's going to translate roughly into about annually about $58,000. So total revenue that we can bring into a practice at a 10% penetration rate of their entire patient base is almost $250,000 annually. What health professional isn't going to want to take a good look at a program that can bring in that kind of revenue? And if it's a smaller practice, we use this chart to show a smaller amount of numbers. If it's a smaller practice and we're looking at 50 patients in the first year, we can bring in $25,000. That's enough to keep some employees paid and keep the lights on in a practice. So nothing that we're looking at is anything to what's the phrase?
Turn your nose up at.
Turn your nose up at, thank you. Shake a stick at. Give me one more phrase. Sneeze at. Turn your nose up, sneeze at, or shake a stick at. All right. So, for a nutraMetrix consultant, it can look like this. Here's your business center, and you have a health professional practice on the left and a health professional practice on the right. Now, I want to be realistic, and I want to set realistic expectations. Yes, if you have a large practice on your left and a large practice on your right, you can make a lot of money through helping them implement a wellness program. But is that solid and consistent income? No. You need to build an organization. You need to find NCs, other nutraMetrix consultants to support.
Organization, you need to know how to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the people that you're working with so that they can play to their strength and support the organization.
Absolutely. In the beginning, a nutraMetrix consultant absolutely didn't have to, but we didn't know any different. We went and we did everything ourselves, from consulting with the health professional, designing the program, implementing it, training the staff, teaching the doctor about wellness, teaching the doctor about ingredients, and trying to be the scientist, the professor, the consultant, and the business manager all at once. And we realized that's a lot for one person to take on. So what we teach now is developing an entire team of nutraMetrix consultants and working at whatever it is that their strength is. And we've broken that down into 4 personality types. So there's going to be an NC, we call them the type 1 NC. And this is the outside consultant, the person that's going to go meet with health professionals, whether it's through cold calling, whether it's through warm market, or whether it's working through referrals. We're going to be that first point of contact, find out what the needs of the practice are, and build a program around it. And then we can pass the responsibilities off to other NCs who may specialize or have other talents or personality traits that fit different tasks that need to get fulfilled for a successful implementation. So, what does the outside consultant do? I kind of just described it. They set appointments, they meet with the practitioners, they design the solutions, and they coordinate things with the staff. Now, generally, who might make a good fit? Somebody with pharmaceutical experience, somebody with medical equipment or sales experience, somebody in a health-related field, somebody like me who didn't have any background, but has didn't have any background. I don't hear you guys. Didn't have any background.
What strength did you have?
Except for what I made up.
Except for the ones that you made up.
Except for the ones that I got to make up. And good presentation skills. Yeah, that's what I have. Thank you. But they don't have to have a background. They have to have a drive and a desire. And to be quite honest, they should be, someone who has a little bit more of a type A personality. So what we're doing for you today, because for those NCs in the room, would you agree that building your team of NCs is one of the most challenging parts of this business, correct? I think that's a fair assessment. So sometimes we're looking at the wrong kinds of people for the wrong kinds of roles. So here's the kind of personalities that you might want to look for in a type 1 consultant. Somebody with a personality like this woman. Right? Would you agree? She's a go-getter. She has a type A personality. Right? Right? Just a little bit. Dennis Franks. Right? He's a go-getter, type A personality, Mr. Energy. Tammy Gaines, who has just such a straight shooter and afraid of nothing. She's a warrior. Both of these attractive people, Jim Winkler, Lisa Grant, are amazing personality types of what it takes to be a good and successful type 1 NC. Bonnie Philo, Sue Gilad. These are all people we wanted you to be able to recognize sort of at a glance and go, oh, those are the kind of people that are going to fit this personality of what needs to get done. Do you guys want to add anything to that?
No,
all right.
You're doing beautifully.
So the type 2 is our implementation manager. Now, when we're implementing in a practice, oftentimes this is going to be the office manager. But sometimes the office manager in a practice isn't going to be the right fit for what needs to get done. They are going to manage things in the office because that is their job. But sometimes we're going to find people out in the world that are really good at communication, really good at education, and really good with one-on-one or small groups. And they're really good and effective at getting things done. Teachers make wonderful type 2 implementation manager NCs. Nurses, office managers, like I mentioned. Another health practitioner in the practice. But let's talk about personality types. So here we have Phil and Sue Guido, right? Now, they make wonderful, Phil especially makes a wonderful type 1 NC as well, but each one, both Phil and Sue have very different and unique personalities, and each are very focused on the next tasks, the next steps, are very clear and effective on how to get that done. Would you agree that Shane Kringle is very effective at getting things done? I'm not going to disagree with that man. Right, Amber Gang, an amazing teacher. My first new distributor training in Basic 5 was with her, and I'm so grateful. The director of nutraMetrix herself, Brandy Murphy. Give her a round of applause. Ultimate teacher herself. And our regional NC, Holly Bright, is a dear friend of mine. Holly, woo! All right. Now, our wellness coaches are type 3 NC, and generally this is going to be somebody with some kind of health or medical background, and also generally they're probably going to be somebody that works in the practice, because this is the person who's going to be working effectively and one-on-one with patients. However, what we're seeing is a rise in health coaches who want to be working with doctors, but the doctors don't have necessarily a room in their payroll to hire an additional employee. So the health coach comes on board as their wellness consultant and can have those kinds of conversations. Who might make a good wellness coach? Well, you're looking at one of them right now, and it's not me. What people are wearing that dress tonight?
I'm doing one that dress tonight. I still don't have my white skirt. So
Gigi Cercidas, right? And Dr. Stan Pierce. Now, it's not because these three people are health professionals that they make a good wellness coach, although that can be a factor. It's because they're incredibly good and effective at taking very complex information and making it very accessible to patients. That's really the key factor. Somebody who can take some very complex stuff and make it very simple for the patients in a practice. And then our fourth type is a TLS coach. Right? What we're seeing in almost every practice is there's a need for weight loss solutions. And we have the perfect one because it's an education system. So you're going to see some people you might recognize here. Sue Pasquale, Corinne Roberts, Larry Radowski, and John DeCastro. Right? These are people who are very effective at implementing the TLS, and they're great at accountability. That's really the key factor here for TLS, to be a TLS coach. Good at accountability. So, some other expectations. The career path of an NC. nutraMetrix is the professional channel of Shop.com powered by Market America. And we want you to take it very seriously as a professional career path. Now that can be a part-time career path or a full-time career path. That's really up to you. But we want to set some realistic and manageable expectations if you're looking into nutraMetrix as the division of this company to specialize in. And we need you to commit to at least a year. And in that year, attend the NC training, attend every major event, World Conference, International Convention, attend all your local seminars, attend all your general product trainings, and be willing to drive distances if you don't have them in your area, especially your local trainings, especially your general product trainings, and especially your basic 5, your new distributor training, and everything else, because the NC must be very, very familiar with the business rules of this company, because we are the business face of MarketAmericanShop.com, of the unfranchised system to our health professionals. And you also must be willing to take action every day, and be willing to take some steps outside your comfort zone. That's the true success path for pretty much any entrepreneur, but certainly with nutraMetrix.
One of the most important things that we found was common through our very successful NCs is that they didn't just start running with healthcare providers. They had their own customer base. They already knew how to successfully retail, discuss product, and follow up. These are tools or qualities that you're going to teach the staff, the other types of wellness coach that may be within the facility or in the practice. You want to make sure that when we think about managing expectations, that you are also a retailer, that you know how to successfully move your product and follow up with your own customers and clients.
So one of the things that we always hear is, trainings are so expensive. I have to pay for that.
That's what you guys tell us when you call.
Every day. The trainings are so expensive. You're right. It's not expensive, and the value of the trainings is you can't even put a price on it. Now, I'm a little bit biased, you guys, but I'm going to try to speak very unbiased. The NC training, in my opinion, is the best training that this company provides. It's 3 full days and we will teach you how to be a true consultant. And yes, it's $395 and it's worth 10 times that.
It's amazing.
Thank you. It is amazing. So, how can you, and I want you to take this information not just for you, but teach this and duplicate this to your teams. How can you very simply retail your way to cover all of your expenses? It's quite simple when you take into consideration the daily essential packets, or even better, the daily essential kits. Okay, so $400 to cover NC training in our new NC intern program, which will be released soon. So do you realize that all you have to do, so when you sell a box of daily essential packets, you make $20 in retail profit. All you have to do is retail 20 of those, and that covers your cost for NC training. If you look at the Daily Essentials kit, which the retail profit is $40, all you have to do is retail 10. Who can't retail 10 Daily Essential kits? It doesn't have to be next week. It can be, we have a training coming up in November. We have a training coming up in September too, but let's say
between now
and November, can you retail 10 Daily Essential kits? And take that profit and put it aside for your education fund, right? It's not paying your rent, it's not paying the bills, it's for your education fund. Now, Greensboro International Convention here in Greensboro, or World Conference here in Miami, a $200 ticket. Oh, our formatting went off. So $20 retail profit, all you have to do is retail 10. Again, 10 boxes of Daily Essentials. If you look at the Daily Essential kits, 5 kits. That covers your ticket for International Convention. And the same thing for World Conference. 5 Daily Essential kits will cover your cost. Now, the variable here is travel, and that's going to be different for everyone, but if you take these simple numbers and just sell the amount of kits based on your travel expenses, you have everything covered. Do it and teach it and duplicate it in your teams, and you will never have anybody say, but I can't afford to go. All right, so let's look at this when you add base 10-7 strong, right? So for those of you who might be brand new, base 10 means you have a customer base of 10 customers. Ordering and reordering, suggested a minimum of 30 BV a month, and you have 7 unfranchised owners, one of those is yourself, in your organization, right? So in this perfect example, we have 3 on the left and 3 on the right. So, it comes with 34 BB every time you move a box of daily essential packets. Times that by 10, that means everyone in your organization is at a minimum moving 340 BV a month. So that means on your left, you're going to have 1190, and on the right, you're going to have 1190. But in order to get that first check, we need how much on each side? Okay, so can you guys be the overachiever and sell one more box? And then you get to split the BV any way that you want. Okay, can we read? And then if you duplicate that, then you'll have base 11, 7 strong. Right? So if you do that, that's $200 a month of retail profit, plus a $300 commission check, that's $500 a month. That's how simple this business can be when you retail. So let's take the daily essential kit. Whoops, and you just keep repeating that and it builds more BV. The daily essential kit comes with 65 points. Times that by 10, that's everybody in your organization selling 650 BV each month. Now that's just a little shy of 2,400 on each side, so if you're going to be the overachiever and get 1 or 2 more customers and teach your business partners how to be a little bit more of an overachiever, and we do say cultivate 10 to 15 customers. So this base 10 is the minimum, you guys. Okay, so...
How many of you are minimally confident? You can just do the minimum. No, you can do so much more than that.
But in this example, it's okay to be minimally competent.
In this
example, it's okay. Okay, so if you duplicate base 10 7 strongs with daily essential kits in your organization, you can bring in $1,000 in additional revenue every month. That's $400 in retail profit plus a $600 commission check. Who doesn't want that? And if you keep duplicating and duplicating that, then think of how many people in your organization are going to continue to get paid. And that's like having a Wellness 101 party like once a month. If everybody in your organization just had a Wellness 101 party and invited 40 people, there's the catch. You have to actually invite people. Because if you invite 40 people, 20 will say yes, and 10 will show up. 5 will buy. That's a reasonable breakdown, I think, right? So do it twice a month. Why not? It's wine. It's wellness. 101. All right. So we're coming in for a landing. There's the BV, keep going up. Oh, let's talk about when you teach your health professionals how to do this. So Dr. Mason hit on a really strong point. If we don't know how to retail, if we can't retail, it's really difficult to teach others how to do it. So we are able to retail daily essential packets or daily essential kits within our own organization. We can very simply and easily teach a health professional how to have those same similar conversations with their patients. So here's you, here's your NC team, and here is a doctor on your left and a doctor on your right moving 40 packs per week. And that's not unreasonable for a large practice, for a medium-sized practice, really. And here's another practice, and another practice, and another practice. So what we're bringing, that's 40 boxes a week, times 4 health professionals, times 34 BV. That's 5,400 points on your left, and 5,400 points on your week. Now let's say it took you an entire year for you to get this consistently in those doctors' offices. Would that be worth it? You have 5,000 points coming through your organization every week. That's what we can do with nutraMetrix. We as an individual, 10 to 15 customers. Because any more than that, it becomes a full-time job. Our health professionals already have customers built in, their patients, and we can help them achieve better health, achieve whatever their wellness goals are through the power of nutraMetrix. And then duplicate that on the inside legs. Now, we introduce nutraMetrix for you guys every Thursday evening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We do a very much shorter version of this, but the beginning part of what you saw and our competitive differentiators and the financial projections we go through every week. Now, the first and third Thursday of every month, this webinar is designed for people that you know who you think might be a good fit as a nutraMetrix consultant. It's also designed for you guys to attend to be able to speak effectively about nutraMetrix, so when you go out and meet people, you can have a very brief and simple conversation and then plug them into the webinar. It's also designed for people that you meet who you're not sure if they're going to be a good fit for nutraMetrix, but you know they know a lot of people who might be a good fit. We will introduce and take care of everything for them, and we stay on live and answer their questions. And we even tell them, for more questions, to definitely make an appointment with the person who invited you to this webinar so they will get back in touch with you. So all you need to do is send an email to webinars@nutrametrix.com. I don't see enough pens and papers or typing happening. Webinars, plural, @nutrametrix.com, and you'll get an auto response back of all of the Thursday night webinars that we currently have planned for you. Anybody can attend. Now, on the second and fourth Thursday is geared towards health professionals, and we prefer for our trained NCs, people who already have a conversation, know how to have the conversations with health professionals, to be on those. However, if you are friendly with a health professional, send them to one of the ones on the first and third Thursday. They'll get a wonderful education, not just on nutraMetrix, but how the nutraMetrix consultants will be able to support them. All right? So, we have a couple upcoming courses for the rest of the year. We have 2. And they will sell out by this weekend. So if you or anyone on your team or anyone that you know could benefit from getting trained to be a professional nutraMetrix consultant, you want to come to the nutraMetrix booth on the concourse level. And you want to get signed up for the upcoming courses. We have one coming up in Weston, Florida, which is just inland of Fort Lauderdale, in September 12th, 13th, and 14th. And then we have another training in Las Vegas. Who doesn't want to go to Las Vegas? November 14th, 15th, and 16th. While it's cold over here on the East Coast, we will be in sunny Las Vegas. All right. So again, we have a career path. These are steps for your success. Your job for when you create a team of nutraMetrix consultants, whether you are part of nutraMetrix or not, your job is to plug your business partners into your NMTSS. That's your responsibility. When it comes to nutraMetrix, that's our job. We will take care of that for them. After they are trained, we have weekly Monday night education pouring webinars. Live webinars where we go through detailed, more advanced implementation trainings, because it takes more than just 3 days to know exactly what to do. But I promise you, if you pay attention for all 3 days, by the end of the 3rd day, you will know exactly what to do if you happen to meet a health professional sitting next to you on the airplane. You'll join an accountability group from there, achieve a certified status with nutraMetrix, which simply means that you as the consultant are working with a minimum of 2 health professionals, and they approve of what you're doing in their practice. And then you can become a regional NC, which we can talk about at a later date. So thank you. Your next steps are simply to continue to get your questions answered. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I just want everyone to know that if you're not currently working in nutraMetrix, this is really a division of Market America that you want to look at, because more and more healthcare providers are looking for people like you, someone that has a level of business acumen, someone that can help them market in an arena that they maybe don't feel comfortable in, this one of supplementation, health and wellness, or weight management, or weight loss. As I said earlier, the time is really right to be able to go into these practices. More and more patients are asking for alternatives to prescriptions. More and more are asking for a better solution when it comes to their supplements, those that produce results, but more importantly, those that are recommended by their healthcare provider. This is the advice that patients want. It's the support that we can offer, so that not just we as practitioners, we as nutraMetrix consultants, but practitioners like myself can see some of the growth that we've seen in nutraMetrix over the last 10 years.
So thank you so much for your time tonight. There'll be another breakout for nutraMetrix with some different topics, some different product education.
Definitely going into much more depth into things like bromelain, going into more depth into the female support products. The daily essentials will go into some depth, and then magnesium, which happens to be one of my favorites.
That's Sunday at 11. I don't know the time.
Sunday. You have an agenda.
It will also be kind of a mini prospecting and recruiting workshop for you as well. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.